Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Sophia, your personal in-flight oracle. And if you're planning on stepping foot inside an airport in 2026, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this right now. Today's title is a big one: New Airport Rules in 2026 that will change how you travel forever. Now I know what you're thinking. Rules change every year, Sophia. What's the big deal? More liquid limitations? Another shoe-off fiasco? Honey, no. We are not talking about another tweak to the 311 rule. We are talking about a fundamental tectonic shift in how you check in, how you go through security, how you board, and even how you plan your whole trip to Europe. We're moving into an era where the airport experience is dictated not by a TSA agent looking at your ID, but by a machine looking at your face and a computer program calculating your risk. Have you heard about the new mandatory biometric check-in that's being rolled out globally? Do you know what the EES and ETIAS are and why they're about to make your European vacation require paperwork 6 months in advance? What if I told you that your face will soon replace your boarding pass and your passport for most of your journey? Are you prepared for the inevitable flight cuts that are coming to major US hubs due to infrastructural strain and air traffic controller shortages and how that will affect your weekend getaway? The travel landscape is not just shifting, it's being completely rebuilt. The goal is friction-free travel, getting you from curb to gate in under 10 minutes. That sounds amazing, right? But with hyper-efficiency comes a massive change in the rules. And if you don't understand these new systems, that seamless process is going to slam the brakes on your trip. In this video, I'm breaking down the 4 major rule and tech changes coming into full effect in 2026 that will completely redefine your travel day. I'll give you the insider perspective on why these changes are happening, how they are being enforced, and most importantly, the exact steps you need to take right now to prepare for them so you don't get caught flat-footed. But before we dive into the future, let's talk about the present. If you love getting the honest, unfiltered truth about air travel from someone who actually lives it, you need to be part of this channel. Please hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next essential travel tip. And seriously, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about your face becoming your passport? Are you excited about faster lines or creeped out? Drop a comment below. I base a lot of my content on what you all are talking about. Ready to see how you'll be traveling forever? Let's get into the rules. Rule shift. 1. The Biometric Boarding Mandate. Your face is your pass. This is the biggest change in the entire travel ecosystem, and it's no longer optional or just for the frequent flyers. The rule we're exposing: your face will be your primary ID at the airport by 2026, often replacing your passport and boarding pass at multiple checkpoints. Biometric scanning, facial recognition is not new, but its usage is becoming mandatory and universal. Airports are desperate to streamline the process because traffic is only increasing. The solution is automation. Think of it. No more fumbling for your passport at check-in, then again at security, and finally at the gate. The new e-gates and kiosks will look at your face, match it instantly to your booking and your government-issued ID stored in a secure database, and boom, the gate opens. This is going to cut processing time at some major international airports down to 10 seconds or less. That's insane efficiency. My anecdote: I was flying into Changi Airport in Singapore recently, which is already ahead of the curve. Watching a family of 5 clear immigration in about 15 seconds flat without ever taking out a piece of paper or a passport was jaw-dropping. We, the crew, are being trained to use handheld scanners that verify biometrically too. This is the future. However, if you haven't enrolled your biometrics, or if your facial scan fails to match the image on file, maybe you got a new hairstyle, a new beard, or you're wearing different glasses, the system will flag you for manual verification. This is where the friction comes in. Sophia's fix: pre-enrollment and consistency. Enroll now. Many airlines and airport programs like Clear or other voluntary TSA programs are offering biometric pre-enrollment. Even if you don't pay for the premium service, getting your face scanned and linked to your documents now ensures the system has a clean, recent match. Take care of your real ID. You must have a real ID compliant driver's license or a valid passport for domestic flights. This is what the biometric system links to. If you don't have the proper baseline document, the digital system won't work for you and you'll be stuck in the manual line. Be ready for the opt-out. You always have the right to opt out of a facial scan and ask for a manual inspection, but be aware. The manual line will be slower because all the resources will be focused on the automated e-gates. Rule Shift 2. The EU Border Blitz, the European Travel Revolution. This affects every single American traveler heading to Europe, and it requires you to change your trip planning habits permanently. The rule we're exposing: two massive mandatory digital systems, EES and ETIAS, are being fully implemented in 2026, replacing the passport stamp and requiring pre-authorization to enter Europe. For decades, Americans could just show up in Europe with a passport and get a stamp. That's done. The European Union is rolling out two systems: EES, Entry-Exit System. This is a new digital border control system. Instead of getting a stamp, you'll submit your biometric data, fingerprints, and a facial scan the first time you enter. This system is designed to digitally track when you enter and exit, enforcing the 90-day and 180-day rule for non-EU travelers with extreme precision. No more blurry stamps. ETIAS, European Travel Information and Authorization System. This is the game changer. It's essentially a travel permit that works like the US ESTA. You must apply for this online before your trip, and it is mandatory by late 2026. If you show up at the airport without a pre-approved ETIAS, the airline will deny you boarding. It's not a visa, but a security clearance, and it costs a small fee. My anecdote: I've already seen airline desk agents and gate agents start getting notices about denying boarding for passengers without certain pre-clearance documents in other regions. This is a liability for the airline, and they will not risk the fine. They are being told to enforce this strictly. Showing up without your ETIAS pre-approval will be the same as showing up without a valid passport. You are not getting on my plane. Sophia's fix: plan 6 months ahead. Apply early for ETIAS. Treat the ETIAS application like you treat a visa application. Apply at least 1 to 2 months before your flight, but ideally, apply 6 months before your trip. It's a simple process, but if there's a delay or an error, you need time to fix it. Know your biometrics. Be aware that the first time you enter the EU under the new system, you will be processed at an e-gate for fingerprinting and a facial scan. Plan for a slightly longer time at immigration that first entry. Check your 90 days. The EES system is a digital accountant for your time in the Schengen zone. Don't risk overstaying your 90 days, or you'll face serious issues the next time you try to enter. Friendly reminder: if you're finding this insider information useful, please hit that subscribe button. Your support keeps me flying high and sharing these vital tips. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been denied boarding. What was the reason? Rule Shift 3, the airspace contraction. Fewer flights, more delays. This change is not about the passengers directly, but the result will profoundly impact your trip planning and ticket prices. The rule we're exposing: due to ongoing infrastructure stress and air traffic control, ATC, staffing shortages, major U.S. air travel markets will see mandated flight capacity reductions continuing into 2026. The system is struggling under the weight of current traffic levels. The FAA has been forced to make cuts at major high-traffic hubs like Newark, New York, JFK, LGA, and others to ease pressure on air traffic controllers and an aging system. This is an operational safety issue. These reductions mean fewer flights overall, especially during peak travel times. What this means for you: higher prices, basic supply and demand. Fewer seats available mean higher ticket prices, especially for non-stop flights and flights booked closer to the travel date. More delays. When a limited system faces weather issues or unexpected events, the backlog is compounded because there's less wiggle room and fewer available slots to absorb the disruption. One delayed flight easily ripples into dozens. The end of the weekend getaway. Flights operating outside of the peak 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. window are less affected, but those quick Friday to Sunday trips are right in the target zone for cancellations and delays. Sophia's fix: the early bird strategy. Book off peak times. If you can, book the very first flight in the morning before 8 a.m. This gives you the best chance of an on-time departure before the delays start accumulating throughout the day. Go nonstop and pay for it. Connecting flights at those high-traffic cutback airports, like the New York area airports, increase your risk of delay exponentially. The price difference might be worth the peace of mind. Use smaller hubs. If you live near an alternative airport that isn't one of the 40 major hubs facing mandatory cuts, consider flying out of there instead. It's often a smoother experience anyway. Rule shift 4. The 3D security upgrade, the end of the 311 rule. While not fully universal by 2026, the implementation of this technology is expanding rapidly and will soon change the most annoying part of security forever. The rule we're exposing, the expansion of new CT, computed tomography 3D scanners, will finally make the 3-to-1-1 liquid rule obsolete at a rapidly growing number of airports, but with a major catch. Many international and a growing number of US airports are rapidly replacing the old 2D X-ray machines with advanced CT scanners. These machines create a 3D high-resolution image of your carry-on, allowing the security software to analyze the contents, including liquids, with much greater accuracy. What this means for you, in the airports that have this technology fully implemented, like some major airports in the UK and a growing number in the US, you will no longer need to remove your liquids, and the limit for liquids will eventually be lifted to a full 2 liters. Yes, you can bring a full-size shampoo. You also won't need to remove your laptop or tablet. The catch: consistency is key. The massive catch is that adoption is slow and inconsistent. By 2026, only certain checkpoints and certain airports will have this. If you start your journey at an airport with the old technology, you must follow the old rules. This inconsistency is going to be the source of massive traveler confusion. My anecdote: I've been in airports where one security lane has the new scanner and the lane next to it has the old one. Travelers invariably forget, get flagged, and start yelling. The worst is flying from a fully upgraded airport where you didn't pull your liquids out to an older airport, and the gate agent sees your full-size bottle during a random bag check. You will lose that bottle. Sophia's fix, the default position: assume the old rule. Until you see a sign at your specific security checkpoint that says liquids do not need to be removed or are allowed in larger quantities, do not risk it. Default to the old 311 rule. Pack your liquids in the clear, quart-sized bag and be ready to pull them out. Keep your electronics accessible. While the new scanners allow you to keep your laptop in the bag, always pack it near the top or in an external sleeve. If the machine flags your bag, and they still do, especially for dense clutter, you want to be able to whip the laptop out instantly for the agent. Speed is your friend. Do your homework, check your departure airport's website or your favorite travel news source right before you fly to see if they've announced a full upgrade. This is the only way to know for sure. Final word: the smart traveler's advantage. The changes coming in 2026 are all about efficiency and control. For the average, unprepared traveler, they mean more frustration, more risk of denial of entry, and more delays. For you, the smart traveler who is informed, these changes are a fast pass to a smoother, faster, and less stressful journey. The technology is accelerating faster than the rules are being updated, and that gap is where the informed traveler gains the advantage. You know about the biometric mandate, the vital ETIAS requirement, the coming flight capacity cuts, and the slow but steady death of the 311 rule. Use this knowledge to plan, pre-clear, and stay calm. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow and lets me know I'm sharing the content you need. And remember, the conversation continues in the comments. I'll be back soon with more honest, inside tips to make you the savviest traveler on every flight. Until next time, travel smart, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the sky.